As a kid, Dad had an office job and he liked to come home on weekends and just do stuff, whether it be from just splitting wood in the yard to building a fence to, you know, putting an odd weatherboard on the house or whatever. So it became, you know, I was like, I suppose, his buddy in doing that. And I just loved it, working with my hands. How I got into, you know, the trees, it was about 2005, I think it was. And up in Flagstaff, a big tree came out, and I asked the arborist there, as I was going through the park, what's going to happen to this tree, you know? And they said, oh, we'll probably cut it up and chip it, you know? And I thought, that's, you know, can I get it? Is there anything we can do? Yeah, probably, call this guy. So I approached the City of Melbourne about it, and they said, look, you know, if you wanted these trees, they could come to you. And then in the meantime, I got approached by the Botanic Gardens. Would I be interested in taking the odd tree that came down and doing something with it? You know, anything, just doing something with it. And I suppose it was a lot more appealing to me because it was a lot more historic. The trees were unusual. So I said, yes, I'll do that. And so I bought a couple of mills to do that. The odd tree came in, but then the drought kicked in and all these trees were coming out. And I took everything over a 2-year period, which was it was only about maybe a dozen trees, but for me that's a lot. A lot of it's from Uni Square, up in the opposite of the uni, St Kilda Road, and just streets that, you know, that we might not all notice that there's elm trees in them, but we notice it when they're gone anyway. And I've made some beautiful furniture out of that over the time. It's had plenty of time to dry, but that's how I sort of fell into it. It happened very quickly, from trees to furniture.
You're the eminent tree person, right?
I think I might be the expert at the moment, which, you know, is probably an overrated or overstated. But yeah, look, I got approached by City of Melbourne, and so they sort of, I suppose they rediscovered me because I've done a lot of work for City of Melbourne over the years, you know, with my own timbers, and I've bought quite a significant collection of locally grown, unusual timbers. But they wanted somebody that could mill, that could identify what needed to be milled or what is a waste of time, but then could also dry it, and then it could also make something out of it. So we're sort of like a one-stop shop, I suppose, in terms of a tree coming in to the facility now, and you know, hopefully in several years' time, it's ready to be used for something and is made into something. So we live in a very wasteful world, and some of the stuff. A lot of the stuff that we buy as you know, consumers, it's sort of unnecessary. Like, we don't hesitate going to IKEA, and you know, I take my hat off to IKEA because they do make and design some brilliant, clever stuff. But it only lasts a few years, and then it gets put on a nature strip, and it's gone, and I'll go buy another one. And it's very temporary. And for what resources have gone into that, it just doesn't quite stack up. You know, with all the problems that we have in today's world with, you know, pollution and whatnot, it doesn't make sense. Yeah.